Hi everyone, my name is Satish and I'm the project manager for CreatorSuite. Today, I would like to go through how we can deploy a number plate recognition system using CreatorSuite. First of all, thank you all for watching our how-to series. Kindly like, subscribe and also follow us on all our social media pages. So before I start, let me explain how does our number plate recognition system work, right? So for the computer to actually detect the characters in an image, right, it relies on something called as a optical character recognition, right? This AI model, okay, that's developed for optical character recognition, or OCR in short, right, allows us to be able to uh, recognize characters and then interpret it or decipher it to produce a result, right? So OCR systems are pretty common these days, right? Given that AI has basically gone mainstream, right? So we'll be using open source OCR model, right? It's available for the public. This model is not the most accurate model available in the market, but it will do well um, for our number plate recognition system, right? So some limitations with the model is that it's not able to say detect your number plate from a large picture, right? It has to be a cropped picture of the number plate for it to do the OCR. So in this case, what we will do is to actually use a cropped image of the number plate, right, and get the decipher it that way, right? But if we want, or maybe we can visit this later on as well, that we can use a normal picture of a car, right, and then we can crop out the number plate using either pre-processing, image processing, right? We can use image processing to crop out the number plate, or we can use object detection models, right, to detect a car plate number, and then capture it, right, and then extract it out, and then run an OCR model on top of it to do the processing, right, and to decipher the image. This is some of the ways that we can actually process from a full image, right? But what we're going to do for this example is to stick with a cropped image of a number plate, and try to decipher the digits and the characters that are already in the number plate, right? So without further ado, let's get started with the example. It's not a too complicated one. If you're already familiar with our previous examples, mainly the facial recognition examples and face detector examples, right? It's pretty similar because this is also involving another image, right? So before we start, as always, let's go to the documentation and go to telemetry and click optical character recognition. This will be the example that we will be following for today's tutorial, right? So next is to actually download the model, right? And you can download the model by scrolling down and clicking here, download the model, and then upload it to Netron.app. So I've already downloaded the model, right? So I've already downloaded the model. This is the this is the workflow after it's uploaded in Netron, and click input, and you will get the properties. So Netron allows us to view the model's properties so that we can configure the rule chains properly, right? So this is also similar with the previous examples that we have done. So let's head back to our home page. First step will be to add rule chains. So let's go to rule chain, click add a new rule chain, right? OCR, add, open up the rule chain. So as always, it starts with an input node. Next will be an input profile node, right? This is pretty standard for almost all the examples. So let's put OCR input, right? So once OCR input is done, connect it. The next one will be to message type switch with same as before, right? I'll just use this name. This is success relation. So next will be an image to array node. Pretty standard so far, right? I hope everybody can follow. Right, so the name will be image to array. Can be anything actually. So now we have come to the part that we have to be careful with configuration. For the input, we put it as image. For the output, what will be the output of this node? The output of this node will be the input of the next node, which is the model node. So for us to know the input of the model node, let's go to properties and find input. Input is, name of the input is input.1. So let's go back, change it as input.1. How about the size? So size again is 100 by 32, right? So 100 by 32, and the rest pretty much standard. We can choose here as grayscale because we'll be using black and white. Add it, connect as post telemetry, same as before, right? So pretty standard. After image to array node or a script node is a model node, right? So after the script node, or in this case image to array, is a model. For the model, you can put any name. Resources we've already included here. I've already uploaded it. If you haven't uploaded, you can upload it in resources library. So just click that, choose the input similar to this, right? So let's cancel this. Enter output is 306. So copy that, paste it here, enter, add it in. So we are done with the model node. Let's connect this with the success relation. Add, done. So the next one will be to add a post-processing node. So we do not have a post-processing node here. So what we will do is add a script node and add the post-processing script inside, right? So let's add post-processing. Where do we get the script? Go back to the example. Have the script here, copy it, paste it here, right? Then add it. All right, and go ahead and connect it up with a success relation again. Finally, is a save time series node. Yeah, basically this saves the data into the database. Save. Right, pretty simple. So now basically our routine is done just in a few minutes. Right, done. Let's apply. So routine is done. Next up, always is to add the inputs and also the input profiles, right? So let's go to inputs, click add input. So choose OCR input, right? Then leave it as default. So we need to create a new input profile. So OCR input profile routine, make sure to choose the correct one, OCR, and click it. So now we have successfully created an input and an input profile, right? And this input profile is connected to the routine as we choose the OCR routine. So basically input is connected to the input profile and input profile is already connected to the routine. So all of them are connected with each other, right? So this step is done. So we are very two-thirds done now. So the final step is to actually create a dashboard. Let's go ahead and click add dashboard, create a new dashboard, OCR dashboard, add, open up the dashboard. Let's go ahead and create the dashboard, add a new widget, create a new widget. For OCR, we have actually created a few new designs, right, on our widgets. So let's go ahead and choose those. it will be under the 2.0 name. For OCR, we need actually 3 different widgets. One will be the show image widget. Another one is to actually upload the image to show the widget, right? In the widget. So there's upload image widget, show image widget, and the third one is to actually to display the result, and that will be a card widget, right? So let's go to image widget 2.0. Let's click upload image, right? Add entity, can be anything. I'm going to put OCR, create a new one. Filter type, single entity type, input, OCR input. Add. For here, you need to use image. Choose time series. All right. So you can basically do this and copy and paste it again for the show image widget. So let's add. So we have our upload image widget. Let me make it nicer. Okay. Now let's add the show image widget. Create new widget. Image widget. Show image. Same thing. Add OCR image time series. Add. Done. Right. So I'm going to make it bigger. To make it nicer a bit lah. Right. So next up will be, oopsie, let me adjust it. All right. So next up will be to actually add the result widget. So let's go ahead, click create new widget, customer's guide. So we add the customized card here, click add OCR, right? For this, you need to choose as plate recognition. So be careful with when you are adding your time series attribute here, right? So make sure it's make sure it's case sensitive, right? Make sure it's the correct name that you've used in your notes. So use plate registration for this. It's the same as the is in the note, right? So plate registration, choose time series and add. So this will be the result. Let me make it bigger. All right. So basically we are done with the dashboard. Super simple, right? So let's test it out and see if it works or not. Hold on, let me go. So I've downloaded a few number plates and let's test out the first one. RSK4382, and we have a successful recognition. So here we go. We have done it. Everything works as fine. Pretty simple, right? So let's try another image and see. AOR 1792. Correct. Let's try something a bit challenging. So this is a bit challenging. And it managed to detect it properly. So sometimes what happens is with this model, so it's a model fault, right? But what happens is that sometimes if the queue isn't properly, as a proper font, sometimes the queue, this part, the line part, it's sometimes a bit hidden, so it thinks it's a 0. Sometimes the 5 looks like an S, so it thinks it's an S. So this is some of the challenges with this particular model, because this model that we are using isn't the strongest model, right? But as you can see, it's doing pretty well with this example. Let's add this as well. So we have a 5 here. Let's see if it thinks it's a 5 or a S. Yeah, it's working fine. So all our examples are working well. It's successfully able to detect and recognize the characters, right? So I would say it's been a successful deployment, right? So that's all for today. Hope you all actually learned something new, right? and realize the power of CreatorSuite and how easy is it to actually deploy your very own AI workflows. So, in a traditional programming world, this whole workflow actually takes weeks, even sometimes months to finish, right? So, and you can see with CSServe, we can actually deploy an AI model in probably less than 20 minutes, 15 minutes, right? If you're fast, and if I'm not recording, I think I can do this in 10 minutes, right? Super fast, super easy to do. Everything is drag and drop. So I really hope you all give it a try. Maybe try using this in your own with your own car, right? And see if it's able to recognize the image. All right, that's all for today. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye bye.